My what? What do you mean my leg's broken? Huh? I don't have legs, Slacko. You know this. Bah! No legs. This is a fact and a constant of my life. What do you mean my leg's broken? I've never had any legs, Slacko. One day I might have legs. Oh yes, I do have a big old crack in me leg. That's always been there. That's not new, bestie. That's always been there. I got cracks all over me, buddy. Thank God I had pets, Wolfie. Hi, Wolfie. How you doing today? How's we doing in chat today, gang? We feeling pretty good? We feeling Gucci? I have Gorilla Girl if you need it. No, I want to break, Slacko. You know that. You know my lore. The doll body is a prison, Slacko. This isn't the real me. No, no, no. It holds me back. Big loves? Yes! Big loves to you too, Wolfie. I hope you're having a good day. I hope everyone's having a good day, actually. I am saying I'm being a big person. I'm saying I hope everyone's having a good day. That includes you, Slacko. And Jackie. And the Wolfie. All of you. Most bodies are prisons? Yes, but this is a more literal one, my dear man. Have I told... Do you not know the law, Slacko? I thought you did. I thought you were aware of my laws. Good morning, everyone, by the way. By the thing, by the pure. You're just being a menace. I see. I see. It is a Slacko way. It is the way of the Slacko. By the Bjorn? Maybe. Do you think I can measure things by Bjorn? I'm not sure if I trust Bjorn. I don't know Bjorn very well. Bjork, maybe. She's pretty cool. She attacked a reporter that was harassing her teenage son way back in the day. I thought that was really cool. Hype shit, hype shit. Fuck the paparazzi. I'm thinking a baby Bjorn. See, once again, can I trust Bjorn though? I don't know Bjorn that well. Bjorn is a stranger to me. Is a Bjorn a piece of thing? Like an item? Hang on, I Google it. Oh, it's a Swedish thing. Baby carriers. Bjorn is a name, Slacko. That's like a name. So you can... I thought you were talking about a person. To carry the doll around and menace people? Only if it's kind of cute with it. I want a custom made one. Thank you very much. Still doesn't know what a baby Bjorn is. Laugh at her. Why do you think I know anything about babies? Do I look... Hang on. Look at me, chat. Look me dead in the eyes and tell me, do I look like I know anything about children? Seriously. Seriously. Do I look like I know anything about children? And their needs? I know they need to poop. And eat. I don't judge people by their appearances. Okay, but judge me this once. Just once. Do I look like I know anything about children? Just once. I'll give you the permission. Because I don't think I do. Let's go back in my corner. Ah! Back in my corner. Scary jump scare times. But hello, everybody! Today, we're starting a new game. It's another Ibihime. Yes, let's go, bitch. Another of the Queen's works. Yes. This is one of her recent ones. Although I've been playing a lot of her recent ones, actually. It's called Out of the Ocean. As you can possibly tell, you know, you might be able to figure that one out. And as all I know is it's about a mermaid and a human falling in love. And it's Yuri. I think that's really cool. Don't you? I think that's pretty awesome. Let's dive right in. Pun intended. Chapter 1. Washed Up. Get my mouse off the screen. That might help. My aunt seared sea bass for dinner tonight. The flesh of the sea bass is white and flaky and its skin is dark and crispy. It's positively bursting with flavour. I'm very funny, Jackie. Thank you, thank you. I'm a big fan of fish, both when it comes to looking at them and eating them. I like going to aquariums, but I also like going to sushi restaurants. My aunt ordered sushi for us last week, actually, when I first arrived at Omorishima. Omorishima? We had a huge feast. We wound up with so much tuna and abalone and bluefin we couldn't eat it all, so we gave some of it away to the repair crew. That was an incredibly luxurious meal. And it was expensive, too. I think Aunt Shoko wanted to pull out all the stops because it was the first night I'd spent with her. It was supposed to be a celebration. Today's dinner isn't quite as fancy, but it's still delicious. Aunt Shoko doesn't need to order food from a fancy sushi restaurant to make my mouth water. Her own food's more than good enough. She served the sea bass with white rice, and there's a couple of other side dishes I've been picking at. A seaweed salad and tempura. Random book line! Slacker, we're already reading! What's wrong with you? Ugh. Name and shame him every time I must. Back to work you go. Ah, a menace of a man. I don't like the story. The story hasn't even started yet, Slacko. How can you like it? Okay, this is from the short story Donation by Lars Arn from the anthology The Valancourt Book of World Horror Stories. It was spring. The sun shone, birds sang. They didn't chirp, they sang, and green leaves had begun to appear on the trees. It was truly a lovely morning. Then the doorbell rang. Outside stood a little boy who didn't appear to be more than 9 or 10 years old, though he had never been good by guessing people's ages. The first time he met her, he had thought she was 3 or 4 years younger than she turned out to be. That's all you're getting. Now we can get back to the real story. She made miso soup too, which has more bits of shredded tofu bobbing about inside it. Aunt Shoko's miso soup tastes a little different from her mother's. It isn't as salty, but I think that's a good thing. It goes down easily, or at least it usually does. I'm not very hungry right now, though. I know my aunt put a lot of thought into tonight's dinner. She went out of her way to make light, refreshing food which won't sit in my stomach. She must know that I've been anxious about tomorrow. Even though I've not really been talking about it, I've been trying to keep my worries to myself, but Aren't you hungry, Asuka? You need to eat a little more. You didn't have that much at lunch either. You're going to waste away at this rate, and then what will Kyoko say? I know. I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood, I guess. Oh, Asuka, are you that stressed about going to school tomorrow? Oh, you have redeemed. Give Hine a treat. I will do so after stream, as is custom. I wince. The mere thought of going to school is enough to turn all my aunt's carefully prepared food to ashes on my tongue. Oh, please don't look so forlorn. You're making me feel guilty. I have to send you to school, Asuka, but try to look on the bright side. I'm sure you'll be alright, a nice girl like you. Your classmates will love you. I'm not too sure about that. I appreciate my aunt's attempts to cheer me up, but I think she might be piling praise on a bit too thick. She says everything will be alright, but how can it be? It sounds like nothing more than wishful thinking. And despite Aunt Choco's best attempts, I've never been one to see the glass half full. Why pretend things will be alright when the vast majority of the time they aren't? I don't think I'm being particularly pessimistic, I'm just being realistic. My aunt is probably pretty disappointed herself, being stuck taking care of me for the next year. Though she hasn't said that. My aunt's much too nice. I don't think I'd like having to take care of a gloomy girl like me, though. It can't be much fun for her. I poke at my food with my chopsticks, but I've no desire to eat any more of it. I can't stop thinking about tomorrow. I'll have to wake up early and change into a brand new uniform. Then I'll have to go to a brand new school. I'll have to get acquainted with brand new teachers and brand new classmates. I'll need to introduce myself to the class too, and it's this thought which really fills me with fear. I turn these anxious thoughts about in my head just like a heavy load of sullied clothes in a washing machine. When... Asuka? Are you alright? What? Oh! I'm okay, I'm sorry. You don't need to apologise to me, dear. I'm your aunt. It's my job to worry about you, especially as I agreed to take you in. I don't think my sister would like it if she knew I wasn't paying any attention to your needs. You have been paying attention to my needs. You made dinner and it's... Is it delicious? I'm not sure. I've barely been able to taste it, but I'm sure it's good. Aunt Shoko used to work as a head chef at this fancy hotel a few years back. She even went to school for the culinary arts before she decided to transition into a more business-oriented career in her 40s. I might not be able to taste her food, which feels like a shame, but I'm sure it's tasty. I'm just not in the right frame of mind to appreciate it. It's... nice, I finished somewhat lamely. You've been taking really good care of me, so don't worry. I feel very lucky. You say that, but you've been pecking at your dinner all night like a baby bird. I don't know if you've sampled enough to decide whether it's good or not. But I don't want to pressure you. I don't blame you for being nervous. My own parents moved around a lot when I was younger. I had to transfer schools more times than I can count. It was all very disruptive, and it was disorienting too. You'd think I would have become accustomed to it given it happened so many times, but... Aunt Shoko sighs and shakes her head. There are some things in life that is hard to acclimatise to. We are all creatures of habit. And it doesn't take a genius to figure your feelings out. They're written all over your face. Am I really that obvious? Just a bit. I know you've been trying to keep quiet for my sake, but I think you would be better served telling me how you really feel, so I can try to reassure you. Though knowing how you teenagers are, I doubt that's an attractive proposition. You youngsters love keeping your thoughts bottled up inside. Sharing your concerns isn't considered very cool. Hey, I wasn't keeping quiet because I wanted to be cool. I've never worried about stuff like that. It's the truth, too. Ugh. I'm chronically, categorically uncool, so fussing about my coolness or lack thereof would be a colossal waste of time. I've already made peace with the fact that I am not and never have been cool. I just didn't want to bother you, that's all. So you were trying to be selfless? Well, yeah, I guess. You silly thing. It actually worries me more, when I can tell that you have a problem, but you refuse to share it with me. Makes me conjure up all sorts of worst-case scenarios. Oh, right. I see. Do you want me to talk to you if I have any other problems then? I believe that would be for the best, yes. Though I understand there are some subjects a young girl such as yourself might never want to share with an old woman like me. Such as... well, like boys, for instance. Ew, boys in my Yuri. Say it ain't so. But boys? It's a good thing I wasn't in the middle of taking a sip of green tea just then, or I think I would have splashed it out all over the table. There aren't any boys I like that way, though. It's not possible. Not possible? The good humour fades from my aunt's face, and once again she frowns. Do you not think that any boys would like you, Asuka dear? No, it's just... Geez, talk about awkward. The issue I'm having isn't really that I don't think any boys would like me, though I think my aunt does have a point there. The real problem is I've never been interested in any boys myself. If I didn't like any of the guys back at my old school in Tokyo, what are the odds I like any of the guys here, on this teeny tiny little island? It seems unlikely. It's so unlikely, in fact, it's borderline laughable. I know it might be something of an outlier among girls my age, but I don't really do guys. I just don't care about them. They might as well be gourds for all I care. If we're talking about female classmates, however, that's another matter. But I don't think I do want to talk about that. It would be too awkward. Well, I won't insist that you talk to me about every single problem you're having, but don't feel obligated to keep your worries to yourself for my sake. We're family. I'm supposed to look after you. I promised Kikiyoko I would take good care of you, and I meant that. I know we haven't spent all that much time together over the years, so it might be a tall ask. But if you could trust me a bit more, I would appreciate it. I let my aunt's words sink in slowly, my head bowed. I turn over her words. And then... Alright. I'll try to rely on you a bit more, So thank you. That's alright, dear. I'm just trying to look out for you in my own clumsy way. I never had children of my own, so I don't have very much experience. I'm winging it, as you might say. But I hope we can muddle along well enough together, despite that. I think we're muddling along alright. It helps that your food is so good. So good you barely ate any of it? My aunt looks down at my plate, then chuckles. Well, never mind. I can always put your food in the fridge. You can have it for breakfast tomorrow. Does that sound alright? That sounds good, thanks. I'm glad. Now. My aunt glances at the clock on the wall, then she clicks her tongue. The time has rather gotten away from us. It's already 8. Why don't you draw yourself a bath, Asuka dear? It might help relax you. Then, I think you should have an early night. I know you're worried about tomorrow, but no good will come from staying up all night fretting. You'll be better off facing tomorrow after a full night of sleep with a clear head. Right. I know my aunt is correct, but the thought of facing tomorrow makes my stomach twist. It's probably a good thing that I ate so little of my dinner. If I had much more, I'm not sure if I'd be able to keep it down. Well, I guess this isn't so bad. I recline in the bathtub, my arms resting against the edge of the bath. I ran the bath warm, and the air inside the bathroom's muggy as a result. I might be all worked up, but my aunt was right about one thing. This bath is pretty relaxing. It's also really fucking flash. Holy shit, it's more like a bathhouse than a bath. Is it a bathhouse? That's crazy. The bath is much, much bigger than the one I'm used to from back at home. Unlike the tub of my parents' old house, which was white and sleek and shaped a little like a coffin, This one is traditionally Japanese. It's a sunken tub which is set into the floor and it's both deep and wide. I think there'd be enough space for about 10 people in a tub this huge. It's overkill, I guess, when I'm the only one using it to bathe. I'm conscious of how much it must cost to fill a tub this size with hot water. It can't be very cost efficient. But my aunt isn't exactly poor. Clearly not! Jesus Griminy! She can't have been if she was able to buy a whole inn. Oh, well that explains a lot with the layout. Even if it was in pretty rotten shape. It's not in the best location either. For such a large, sprawling buildings, I think she snapped it up for a pretty cheap price. Not that I know much about the housing market. This old inn, known as the Sakurasou, is luxuriously large, but it's definitely seen better days. Most of the inn is a disaster zone since it's still being renovated. I've peeked inside some of the rooms and they're dire. Some of them don't even have carpets and a bunch of them are still being painted. My auntie and I are living in a part of the inn which the old owners used as their home. This part is more well cared for than the rest of the building, which was left to go to rack and ruin for over a decade. The small slice of the inn we occupy isn't perfect, however. The floor creaks, the windows rattle, and the tiles in the bathroom are discoloured from old age. My parents' home in Tokyo was much smaller than this sprawling, spacious inn, but it was easier to take care of as a result. The floors were always clean, immaculately so, and there was never ever any mildew on the bathroom walls. My mother wouldn't have allowed it. She was a bit of a neat freak. No, she's still a neat freak. I'm not sure why I'm thinking about my mother in the past tense, as I'm never going to see her again. She's going to be away for only a year, that's all. If that, Dad too. They'll come back soon enough, and when they do, it'll be like no time has passed at all. I'll say goodbye to my aunt, and I'll go back to Tokyo with my parents to our clean, tidy home. That's what I tell myself, at least. But that year seems so far away. Will I really be able to endure living in Omiroshima for all that time? I'm not sure. But I'm just a teenager and I don't think I have much of a choice. What I want doesn't matter. I don't think it ever has. Later that night. Oh, look at the toy! It's a sunfish! She has a sunfish plushie! Oh, that's cute. It has an amazingly big eye. I love that. That eye could not be any bigger. But it could. I think it could be bigger, actually. That eye could be absolutely massive, and I think that would be fine. A big eyeball as a treat. Oh, that's so cute. That's so lovely. Giant plush toys always get me. I've never had a giant plush toy, actually. Not like that. It sounds like it would be nice. I feel like I'd be really a bit stereotypical with it and get like a giant fluffy teddy bear. Or a giant fluffy bunny. A bunny would be nice. Bunnies are nice as plushies. I really like bunny plushies. They're so cute. Jeez, this sucks, Tayo. What do you think I should do? She's named it too. Ah! She's adorable. I lie on my bed. My arms are wound around the plush body of my best friend and close companion, Tayo. I've finished with my bath and now I've changed into my pajamas and I'm ready to go to sleep. I should be sleeping at least. But I'd rather talk to Tayo. Not that he has anything to say. I mean, he is a stuffed toy. It'd be nice if I had a confidant I could confess to. Somebody who isn't Aunt Shoko, I mean, but I think I'd start freaking out if Tayo spontaneously gained sentience and speech alongside it. I know I've been pretty stressed recently on account of my move, but that really would make me question my sanity. It's nice that my aunt wants to help me, but there's only so much she can do. She can't go to school for me. I'll have to deal with this on my own. But I give Tayo a reassuring squeeze. Tayo's pretty big as far as plushies go. He's so big, in fact, it's hard for me to wrap my arms around him fully. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect for a plushie. Oh, jealous. He's spherical in shape. Well, he is a sunfish. And he has those cute little fins on either side of his body and another larger fin sticking out the top of his head. Did you know, like, sunfish just get chomped on and they don't give a shit. Sunfish... Like, animals just munch them, like sea lions and sharks and orcas just chomp them and leave them to die slowly. And they just don't react at all. They don't react panically because their skin is so thick and they don't have a lot of nerve endings, and they are very stupid. Their brains are tiny, so they don't really seem to notice being eaten alive. They're kind of ridiculous. He has a fan-shaped tail at the back, which is scalloped at the ends, kind of like a geyser. Ah, geyser mention. Do you guys know Dorohedoro? Dorohedoro? I remember reading the manga back in the day. I really need to watch the anime. Dorohedoro is great for buff people enjoyment. I love Dorohedoro. I need to reread it. It's been so long that I forgot the characters' names and it's really bugging me. There's one character that I had a massive crush on. What was her name? God. Noi! Noi, yes, Noi was my wife. She's 6'10". She's massive. She punches shit. She hates wearing clothes. What a woman. To cap it all off, he has two beady eyes, one on either side of his head. I think Tayo's very cute. He's my most trusted companion. I've had him since I was 10 and I went on a trip to an aquarium with my parents. I fell in love with the sunfish when I saw them drifting about in their tanks, round and white. They might be called sunfish because of their circular bodies, but I think moonfish would be a more appropriate name. I loved the sunfish so much, my mother had to drag me away from the tank. If she'd let me, I probably would have stood there staring at them for hours on end, even if they do look kind of funny. Sunfish are large and lumbering. They're a plain greyish-white, and their gaping mouths make them look undignified. Nobody bothered to stand by their tank at the aquarium. Nobody but me. I'm not sure what drew me to the sunfish exactly. Maybe I liked them precisely because they were so plain. I think they were doing their best in their own fishy way. I thought it was admirable. I think I could relate to them just a little bit. There's nothing special about me either. Aw, bestie. Oh, I want to give her a big hug. She's so teenager. With her self-doubts and shit. Oh, poor baby. Tayo has been a staunch companion of mine for 6 years, even though there wasn't much room in my old bed for him. It was a tight squeeze, him and me, curled up beneath the sheets. But I couldn't bear the thought of leaving him on the floor. It's fortunate enough that the Sakuraso Inn is a lot bigger than my parents' home back in Tokyo, and this bed is bigger than my old one, so I have more space to spread out. That doesn't stop me from cuddling up close to Tayo, however. I hug him as tightly as I can, my arms are wound about him. He's so huge he took up one of the passenger seats in the car. I even put a seatbelt around him to make sure he'd be alright. Though I'm sure if my father had gotten into a crash, Tayo would have come out much better than the rest of us. Unlike us ordinary humans, plush sunfish don't have any annoying internal organs. My father didn't get into an accident though, so this is a moot point to consider. He's a pretty careful driver. My dad's careful about everything he does, actually. I guess you could call him meticulous. He's been a university lecturer for more than half his life, and he's good at organising himself and other people. He's very practical. He's so practical, in fact. He asked me if I really had to lug Tayo all the way from our Tokyo home to my arts place in Omarashima. He'll take up a lot of space in the car, Asuka dear. It doesn't seem very sensible, not when you need to bring all your clothes with you. You'll only be living with your aunt for a year while me and your mother are working in Germany. You won't be parted from him all that long. Can't you leave him? Dad posited this in a very reasonable sort of voice, and I guess he was being reasonable. It probably was silly of me, a 16-year-old girl, to lug a huge sunfish plush with me halfway across the country. But I still couldn't bear the thought of leaving Tayo behind. I didn't want him to be lonely. That's totally fine, girlie. I think it's totally fine to have a plushie you love. That's totally fine and normal. Absolutely. Oh, I should move my plate. Oh, that's why I moved. My plate was over there, because I had to pick up the book. Oh. And I didn't want to be lonely either. Exactly. She's going to be all alone. Well, Shoko's there, but she doesn't know Shoko very well, so it's not the same. I've whispered a lot of secrets to Tayo over the years. He never gives me any advice, but it's nice feeling like there's somebody out there who cares, even if that somebody is a plush fish. I didn't tell my dad that, though. I didn't think he'd understand. Instead, I told him that Tayo holds a lot of sentimental memories for me, and I didn't want to abandon him. My dad wasn't particularly happy about it, but he gave in eventually. I guess he didn't think there was much point making a big deal out of it. That wouldn't have been logical. Logic, in case you haven't noticed, is one of my dad's favourite words. Ugh! Ugh! It's all well and good being a logical person, but, like, you need to balance it with, like, emotions. Guys, they have to be a joint venture, or you'll just come off as cold and cruel so easily. Trying to fit all of my belongings into the car, plus one giant sunfish plush, was a bit of an engineering feat, but we managed it in the end. My dad even managed to keep his grumbling on the topic to a minimum, which was appreciated. I don't think he enjoyed the 4-hour drive from Tokyo to Miyagi, then the 30-minute ferry journey from Miyagi to Omotoshima with a giant sunfish staring at him in the rearview mirror. But Dad wouldn't have enjoyed the driving that distance regardless. I'm glad I brought Tayo with me in any case. This old inn doesn't quite feel like home yet, but he makes me feel more at ease. He can't soothe all my worries about starting a new school tomorrow, though. They're wriggling about inside me like sea snakes. I didn't like going to school in Tokyo very much either, but at least I was used to that. Waking up early, changing into my uniform, having breakfast with my parents, then taking the train to school was part of my daily routine. Commuting half an hour was a pain, but I used to. Wild time away listening to music on my phone. My commute gave me an opportunity to psych myself up for the coming day. I won't need to commute here, though. The Sakuraso Inn might be situated on the cliffs overlooking the ocean, but the school itself was only a 10-minute walk away. Omotoshima is a pretty small town, the population around 40,000, and everything's within walking distance. I guess it might be nice to walk to school along the seafront. But though Omotoshima is very scenic, that can't make up for the alarming, alien newness of everything. Will I really fit in at my new school? Aunt Shoko seemed to think so, but I'm less certain. I couldn't fit in at my old school in Tokyo, and there were far more students there I could have hung out with. How in the world will I fit in here? If I was more like a city girl, bright, brash, and confident, maybe I'd be able to hack it, but as it is... They're all going to laugh at me, aren't they? I don't look like a city girl, I'm too plain. I'm going to be such a disappointment. Baby, no! Ah, poor girl. Her self-esteem is in the fucking gutter. Oh. I was never invited to go to karaoke after school, and nobody wanted to take photos with me in the photo booths either. I've never even had a crepe before. What will I do if my classmates ask me about life in the city? They'll be expecting to hear all sorts of fun, exciting stories, and I won't have anything to tell them. My aunt says it'll be fine, but what does she know? She's not the one who has to deal with this. She has no idea what it's like for me. Tayo. I give Tayo a big squeeze. I'm scared. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but that's starting to feel impossible. Get this girl some melatonin. Put like four melatonins down her gullet. That'll do her. If you get 4 of them, that'll definitely knock her out. How much do I have? Hang on. My script says I'm only supposed to take 1 tablet. I don't do that. That doesn't work. That doesn't work with my sensibilities. Oh, no wonder it doesn't work. Each pill is only 2 milligrams. So I'm taking, when I do take it, because I don't need it every night, I take 8 milligrams of melatonin to sleep when I do need it. That's so funny. I think that's a lot, actually. Hang on. I feel like that might be a lot. Is 8 milligram melatonin safe? Okay, if I have over 8 milligrams, then I need to worry. Okay, we're good then. I'm probably never going to take more than that, but we'll see. I heard you can get used to it and then you need to up the dose, and it's like one of those things, but we'll see. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but that's starting to feel impossible. I've been trying to get some shut-eye for ages, but it's simply not coming. I feel too anxious. Maybe this is a lost cause after all. Why am I still bothering? Don't people say that that's the number one sign of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result? That's such a funny parable. Sort of like little concept that just has stuck with us. Wasn't it in that one video game? What was it called? It was one of the Far Cry's, I think. Yeah, one of the Far Cry's. The villain did that whole speech. I never played the... did I play the Far Cry's? No, I watched my brother play them because he had some of them on the PlayStation. He had the, which one did he have? Far Cry... Which one? No, not that one. I think he had 4. Yeah, you had 4. I don't know if it was any good. It was pretty though. I liked it. It was pretty. Well, if sleep won't come, I might as well do something to try and make it come. I need to wear my body out. Then I should be able to get some much needed shut-eye. Are we going for a beach walk? Are we going to find the mermaid? I get to my feet, sitting tired to one side, and flick on the light switch. Then I change out of my pajamas and back into my casual clothes. Feels a bit strange getting dressed when it's almost midnight. It's almost as though my daily routine has been reversed. I'll have to get out of bed tomorrow morning too and dress in my brand new uniform, a uniform which is hanging in the back of the wardrobe with my rest of my clothes. But I try to put that thought to one side. I think my time would be better served going for a walk rather than getting myself all tied up in mental knots. I put on my favourite denim jacket, then peek out of the curtains. The sky outside is dark, but it isn't ominous. It's a clear night, devoid of any clouds, and I can see the moon and the stars clearly. I can see the stars a lot more clearly out here in the countryside than I ever could back in the city. I guess there's something comforting about that. It really is pretty out here. I turn, then let myself out of my bedroom. I close the door behind me as quickly as I can so as not to alarm Aunt Shoko. Though I'm not sure why I'm bothering. My aunt's room is down another hallway to mine on the opposite side of the building. It's not like she'll hear me leaving my bedroom. I still tense, however, when the floorboards beneath my feet creak. I feel like a fugitive. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but my guilt dogs me regardless. My palms are starting to sweat. If Aunt Shoko knew what I was doing, she'd worry about me. Which is all the more reason not to wake her up. I just noticed, guys, there's a little sunfish icon that pops up here that when to like tell you that you can continue your text, that you can do the next text bubble. There's a little sunfish right there. Oh, that's so cute. I make my way back over to the living room, walking quietly all the while, my footsteps slow and hesitant, like a cat's. I don't use the front exit at the entrance hall because that's still under construction. The entrance hall is pretty fancy though. The door is this huge thing made of carved wood, which was obviously built to look impressive. I think it looks more imposing than anything, however. My aunt and I have been using the sliding door in the living room to get in and out of the house since it isn't cluttered with construction stuff. At the moment, the front entrance is full of cardboard boxes, pots of paint, and there's this collapsible stepladder too. I'm sure it'll look better once the renovations are over and done with. At least that's the hope. In any case, my aunt's not here and the living room is pitch black. Wait, could you guys even see that? Oh, you can't really. Hang on, let me move. Right, look. But at the bottom right, there's a little sunfish. That lets me know when I can progress text. It's like you've got all the text out. Look. I'm here. This is how you know. That's so cute. I love that. I creep on over to the sliding doors, which are locked. I unlatch them easily, then slide the doors open, wincing as the wood scrapes against the door jamb. That wasn't too loud, was it? I falter, afraid that Aunt Shoko will come padding down the hallway to meet me in her nightgown and her slippers. But she doesn't. I guess I was worrying about nothing. That seems to be a bit of a recurring theme lately. I inhale the air, lukewarm against my cheeks. Then, I step outside. The garden here is pretty fancy, which I guess you'd expect since in itself is so huge. The grass is a bit overgrown and the hedgerows need trimming, but I think it should look rather pretty when the gardeners are through with everything. There's a lot which needs to be done, but my aunt seems to be on top of everything. She's good at issuing orders, and she's good at keeping people working on tight deadlines. I can only dream of being like her. I meant to cross the garden when... Whoa! Hi! Hello! Is it getting hot in here? Oh my god. Oh. I feel suddenly very thirsty. Look at that woman. Look at that woman! Oh no, I'm in trouble. Hey, Squirt! Where do you think you're going at a time like this? Eek! I jump about a foot in the air as though I've been zapped with a kettle prod. I don't usually worry about being ladylike, but I don't think the scream I just let out was even remotely feminine. So much for trying to keep a low profile. I glance about the garden, searching for whoever addressed me, and... Oh! The tension drains out of my body like, I don't know, pus from a boil maybe? I know this person. Oh! Hello? Oh shit! Oh shit! Jesus Christ! Whew! Whoa! Oh shit. Oh my god. Will she catch me if I faint? Oh my god. She's sitting on the veranda, cross-legged only a few paces away from me. She's holding a can of something or other in her hand, and there are a couple more cans resting by her. It's too dark for me to make out what's emblazoned on those cans, but I think I can hazard a guess. She's probably been drinking again. Though she's sitting, I can tell she's taller than me. If she stood up, she'd have a good 7 or 8 inches over me. Her hair is tied back in a high ponytail which shifts in the breeze, and she's smiling crookedly. I know this woman well. This is without a shadow of a doubt. Marina? Ding ding ding! The apparition of darkness, otherwise known as Susakaze Marina, grins widely. That's my name. I'm glad you remember it, kiddo. It'd be hard to forget. You sound it quite a bit. And don't call me kiddo. Ah? Why not? Marina gets to her feet, crushing her can of beer in her right hand. Her shadow stretches along the veranda when she gets up until it swallows mine. She really is tall. I've met a couple of women who are taller than she is. My old math teacher, Miss Mizuguchi, was especially Amazonian. But Marina isn't just tall. She's also broad. Those muscles in her thighs are pretty impressive. I bet she could crush a watermelon between those. Not that I'd have any interest in watching that or anything. Oh, hi Harriet! Well, congrats on the 5-stream streak. Love tall, strong Amazonian woman. Me too, yes. I love a big woman. Compared to me, you are a kid. You're only what, 15? I'm 16, actually. Heh, it's all the same to me. The point is, you're still a baby. You shouldn't be out and about so late at night. What are you doing up at this hour anyway? I could say the same thing to you. Why are you still here? I only know Marina in passing. She's a carpenter and she's one of the people my aunt hired to help fix up this old inn. I bet the aunt and her have got it going on. I bet they're totally hooking up. Like, there's no way the aunt wouldn't jump at that. Like, come on. Marina's been here every day this last week from 9 in the morning until 5 in the evening, measuring the rooms and, I don't know, fitting joists. Is that the sort of thing a carpenter does? I'm not even sure what a joist is, but shh, that's not important. Marina's supposed to work here from 9 until 5 at least, which is standard for most jobs. But she has a habit of loitering out around to chat to the other workers. She's chatted to me a few times too. Mostly about how I've been settling in and what Tokyo was like and if I'm looking forward to starting a new school. Oh, so she's like a gyaru. She's a social gal. She is giving like casual gyaru energy. I don't dislike Marina. She seems well-meaning even if she does like to tease me, but I have more than a couple of questions. Why is she here so late and why has she been drinking? I guess she's not technically on the job since she should have clocked out hours ago. But it still doesn't seem very professional. Oh? You wondering about me? Marina grins crookedly, her hands resting on her hips. I'm always thinking about you, Marina. Marina, give me one chance, girl. Well, I guess that's fair. I know I should have left ages ago, but I got pretty caught up in a job. I wanted to finish it up before the day ended, but it was a little more involved than I thought it'd be, and... well... here we are. Here we are indeed. I glance at the couple of cans on the veranda and the can in her hand and frown. Where did you get that beer from? I picked up a 6-pack from the convenience store earlier. I knew I'd be here for a while and I wanted something to knock back to celebrate once I'd finished. It was a very involved job, you know. I don't know anything about carpentry, but I guess I'll take her at her word. I've seen Marina at work before and she doesn't seem like a slacker. I guess I believe her, but all the same... why do I think that the job she was working on was her aunt's Gucci? A very involved job, you know? Just a feeling. Just a hunch. I don't know if my aunt would like it if she knew you'd been hanging around here so late. And you probably shouldn't be drinking on the property either. Probably not, but I couldn't help myself. It's such a nice night today. The sky's so clear and look, you can see the moon so clearly. It's the sort of night where you have to have a drink. It'd feel like a waste not to. Right. I can't say I get it, but... well, so long as you're not getting into any trouble, I guess it's fine. Now that's what I like to hear. Do you mind keeping this a secret from your aunt, Asuka? Sure, why not? It's not like I want to help Marina cover up her petty indiscretions, but reporting her to my aunt sounds like more trouble than it's worth. Thanks, Asuka. You're the best. Oh, she's so cute. A beaming Marina plants her palm on top of my head, then gives it a forceful ruffle. This isn't the first time she's done this. pretty common, actually. It's a little infantilizing, but I don't think she means any harm by it. Besides, it's not like my hair is styled in a particularly fancy way. It always looks kind of messy no matter what I do to it. Anyway, that's enough about me. What about you, Squirt? Why are you up so late? Shouldn't you be sleeping in for school tomorrow? Ugh, trust Marina to bring school up. She's already drunk a load of beer. How can she be so astute? Maybe it's like Aunt Shoko said. I'm simply too easy to read. I should, I guess, but... Aren't you looking forward to it? I shake my head emphatically. And Marina smiles. I thought that might be the case. What gave it away? Your face. It fell the moment I brought it up. Have you been struggling to doze off? I nod and Marina smiles. Poor thing. I know it can be tough settling into a new place. I've moved around enough myself. My aunt said that too. I'm not surprised. Your aunt's a very wise woman. Did she also tell you to sleep early so you'll be well rested for school tomorrow? She did, but you couldn't manage it. Not really, but that's not because I didn't try. I gave sleeping a shot, but it wasn't happening. I figured I was wasting my time, so I thought I might be able to sleep better if I went for a walk. Oh, I see. That's not a bad idea, I guess. I'm not sure how wise it is for you to go wandering off late at night. But I won't tell you what you can and can't do. I'm not your mother after all. I don't want to spoil your fun. But do be careful, alright? Marina smiles and gives my hair another well-meaning ruffle. Just try and stay out of trouble, you hear me? What trouble do you think I could run into out here? Omurashima isn't exactly bustling. I know. But if it was completely devoid of all ne'er-do-wells, we wouldn't need a police force around here. Bad things can happen even in small places like this, you know. I guess. But everybody I've met here so far seems pretty nice. Well, good. Everyone should be nice to you. You're a sweet girl. How do you know that? You've only known me a week. Yeah, but it's just a feeling I have. Call it intuition. You're a cutie, that's why I'd be ashamed if anything happened to you. Yes, you keep saying that. It's enough to make me paranoid. Do you think it's likely that I'll run into anybody on the beach? At this time? Nah. Omurashima's mostly full of old-timers. They'll all be in bed right now. That's what I thought. Why are you cautioning me so much then? Well, you know what they say. It's better to be safe than sorry. And I'm not necessarily warning you about seeing any strange people, you know. Do you think I'd run into something that isn't a person then? I know we're in the mountains, but you don't think there'll be any wild animals on the beach, do you? Well, I wonder. I don't know if I call them animals per se, but... Marina glances out at the distance thoughtfully. She sits back down on the veranda and takes a slug of her crumpled can of beer before wiping her mouth with the back of her arm. Oh, I'm picturing it and it's so attractive, it's so hot. Get the vibe that Aunt is possibly bi. Yeah, she might be a bit fruity, eh? She might also... Yeah. Then, in an uncharacteristically considered voice, she says... Well, never mind. I'm probably overthinking things. I'm sure you'll be fine. But you should keep your wits about you if you want to go down to the beach so late. After all. Faintly, Marina smiles. You never know what's out there in the water, lurking just beneath its surface. A foo-foo-foo. So much for any mysterious creatures. The beach looks completely ordinary. I mutter this under my breath as I wander across the beach, disturbing the sand beneath my soles. The moon is high in the sky. It's perfectly round like a disc, and its ghostly rays illuminate the surface of the undulating ocean. The water shimmers beneath the moonlight, silver grey. It's very pretty. I'd go so far as to call it ethereal even. But I don't think there's anything particularly otherworldly about it. It looks like I'd expect the beach to look this late at night. I can count the number of times I've been to the beach in my life on 2 hands, and the number of times I've been to the beach at night on 1 finger, but I don't think there's anything strange about this. There's just sand, surf, and a starry sky. This is some of Ebby's work. Yes, it's another Ebby Hime. Yeah. The sky is clear and I can see each and every individual star in stark detail, all of them shimmering like spilt granules of sugar. I can smell the sea salt in the back of my nostrils. It's potent enough to make me shiver. I glance this way and that, the salty breeze catching in my hair when... Huh? I think I can see something on the sand, partially obscured by the ocean's rolling waves. Is that a piece of driftwood? Well, whatever it isn't moving. I take a step forwards and then... What the? I gasp. Mermaid confirmed! Let's go! Oh, she's cute. Wait, she has blonde hair like Marina. Maybe they're related. Maybe Marina used to be a mermaid. What if Marina used to be a mermaid? And that's why she knows about them. The texture as well is similar too, you know. She's very cute, yeah. It's not a piece of driftwood at all. It's a person. And they're a very pretty person at that. They look like a girl. She's either my age or maybe a couple of years older. She has long, fair hair, the likes of which I've never seen before. Not on any of my classmates, at least. I can't see her eyes since her lids are closed, but her nose is snub, her lips pursed. Shallowly, she breathes, her chest rising and falling. There's quite a lot of her chest on display, actually. She's not wearing much other than a couple of seashells. Who does she think she is? Some sort of mermaid? Well, a sweeping glance past her hips would suggest she really might be. I know this sounds crazy, but this girl doesn't have any legs. Her hips blend into a tail, a soft pale pink, just like coral. Her tail is covered in scales which glisten in the moonlight like sequins. Her tail is dazzling, but that isn't even the most striking part of her appearance. If I'm stunned by her tail, then I'm absolutely stunned by her face. I've never seen anybody this pretty before. But it makes sense, I guess, that she would be beautiful. Aren't mermaids supposed to be attractive? They are in all the stories I've read about them, at least. But that's where the issue lies. I've only heard of mermaids in stories before. They shouldn't exist in the real world, not lying on the beach bathed in the moonlight. Is this some sort of practical joke? I know there are some TV shows out there that are devoted to setting up these very intricate practical jokes which they play on unassuming members of the public for laughs. But though I look up and down the beach, I can't see anybody else out here. If this was an elaborate prank, you'd think there'd be a couple of cameramen standing by to film my flabbergasted reaction. Marina possibly as fruity as the protag and had a mermaid lover. I think Marina's very fruity. I don't think we can discount that at all. She's giving absolutely Applejack lesbian vibes. If you know, you know. But she also might have had a mermaid lover. That's true, and maybe she felt like she was betrayed by them when they left. Broken-hearted, possibly. There's nothing straight about Marina. Nothing at all. Nothing heterosexual about that woman. I remember when this game was being made, Ibihime posted Marina's character sprite on, I think, her business social. And I was not sane about it. I was normal. I was me about it. I was like, oh, give me one chance. Just one chance. I don't think anybody else is out here, though. I'm all alone, apart from the mermaid, of course, who's lying on the sand. Oh, we get to see a full picture CG of her now. That's beautiful. The art on this is so good. I love this artist. She's chosen amazingly. Jeez, is she really a mermaid? Part of me wonders whether she's not a person wearing some elaborate costume, or maybe a lifelike mannequin. But no. She's not moving very much. I think she's unconscious, but the fins of her fishy tail are twitching. Unless she's some highly advanced automaton. I think it's safe to say that tail's all natural. So she's a real mermaid. Alright then. What am I supposed to do now? Hello! Hang on. Hang on. Every He-Man games don't usually have multiple choices like that. That's interesting. Hi Jewel, you came just in time for the mermaid. Look at her, we just came across her after going on a walk on the beach. We're gonna help her. I could always turn about on the spot and pretend I haven't seen her, but that would seem very... What's the word? Chivalrous? I'm no knight, and this is no Arthurian epic, but I don't like the idea of leaving an unconscious woman lying on the beach. You been lurking? Ah, you sneaky. You appear as soon as the mermaid appears. I understand, I understand. Did you hear my sunfish rant? My beautiful sunfish appreciation times? Even if she is only half a woman, it looks like she's been through a lot. Her hair is tangled and her breathing sounds laboured. I guess that makes sense. If she really is a mermaid, and I'm thinking she probably is, then she must not be used to inhaling oxygen. I wonder if she has gills. Does she use those to breathe under the sea? Speaking of, that would probably be the correct course of action here. Since she came from the ocean, I should return her from where she came. I don't know this mermaid's story, but she probably washed up on the shore. That happens with whales sometimes, doesn't it? A particularly nasty current must have brought her here. Maybe she hit her head when she got tossed out of the ocean, that's why she's not moving. She's in no fit state to drag herself back into the sea, so I'll need to do it myself. Then I should be able to return to the inn without any worries. I take a step forward, then kneel down beside her. With trembling fingers, I reach out. Oh! Our protag has muscles if she can pick up a person like that. She's not a slouch. She's good. She's got beef. She's kind of buff with it, I guess. Good for her. Then I wind an arm around her body and pull her unresisting body against my chest. I snake one arm beneath her. Well, plus tail heavier than legs, I assume. Yes, the tail would be so heavy. Think about the difference in weight between your legs. Someone's legs and like a fishtail. It's mad. Just a general fishtail. The weight is so different. It's a lot denser. Absolutely. I would call her rare, but that might not be the right word, since her hips merge into a coral pink tail. I'm not really sure what I should call her behind, but I try not to worry about it too much. I'm not a marine biologist. The mermaid's body is a little damp. Somehow that makes the reality of the situation sink in even more. Her body is firm enough for me to embrace it. I can hold her in my arms. I can feel her long, fair hair brushing against my skin. I can even feel her breath against my cheek. I marvel at the mermaid for a few moments, her body still cradled in my arms, when... Ugh. Do you date a seal, mermaid, Scylla? I would date a seal mermaid, and I would never steal her cloak. She could have her cloak forever. We would have a relationship of trust. I would trust that she would come back to me when she went out for her swims. And she would be able to trust that I would never steal her freedom from her. It would be beautiful and magical. I would never steal that from her. That's disgusting. The mermaid stirs. She shifts. Then she opens her eyes. She also has blue eyes like Marina. Marina has those very, very prominent blue eyes as well. Marina, I think she used to be a mermaid. I really do. That's my theory. She's so close to me I could dip my head and kiss her if I wanted to. Another save. I need to save every time there's a choice, so we can come back and do the other routes. And maybe part of me wants to. She is very pretty after all. I can't say I'm really opposed to the idea. But I don't want to force myself on her. I need to try and calm down. Maybe dunking my head in a bucket of icy water would do the trick? Unfortunately, there's no icy water to hand. I just need to try and get my act together. I just had a brief look on my phone at the route information in this game, and apparently there's a poly ending. So usually with these sorts of games, if there's a poly ending, you have to complete all the individual routes, and then you can get the poly route. So that's what we're going to aim for. We're absolutely going to get the poly route. Breathe in, then breathe out. I'm trying to be calm about this. But that's kind of hard when our mouths are only centimeters apart. Why did I lean so close towards her anyway? What if she thinks I'm some sort of weirdo? I drew away from the mermaid sharply, my face on fire. It's not that warm tonight, but my cheeks still feel like a furnace. I'm sorry. Sorry? The mermaid parrots me slowly, her voice faltering. Isn't she used to talking? That would make sense if she spent the majority of her life in the ocean. But there's another possibility too. Can't she understand Japanese? I don't know what language they use under the ocean, but it seems unlikely that mermaids would be well versed in my mother tongue. Since she has golden hair, I guess she would be a foreigner. Should I try speaking to her in English? That's supposed to be a universal language, but I don't know if that holds true to denizens of the deep. And besides, I'm sorry, but I don't know any English. I can only speak Japanese. Can you understand me? The mermaid winces. Then a dazed voice, she says, I can understand you just fine. I've lived near Omotoshima for long enough to pick up some bits and pieces. Oh, thank goodness for that. But why do you have your arms around me? Well, Wait, don't tell me. You weren't overwhelmed by my beauty, were you? Well, you are very pretty, I guess, but... I knew it! You fell for me, didn't you, the moment our eyes met? Oh, she's a princess type. I love her. She's so cute. I'll bet you were hoping to sneak a kiss while I was still sleeping. Aren't I right? What? No, I wasn't going to kiss you. What do you take me for exactly? I'm not the sort of person who goes around kissing strangers. That's the sort of thing that get you arrested. Arrested? The mermaid tilts her head questioningly. What do you mean? I know, well, I'll get taken away. Taken where? To prison. You would be in prison for kissing me? Against your will, yeah? I mean, that's sexual harassment. It isn't something that should be encouraged. Huh, how strange. I've heard that humans go around kissing anyone and everything that takes your fancy. It's how you show affection. But was I mistaken? I guess people do kiss a lot in fairy tales. But kissing strangers isn't that common. It's actually frowned upon in polite society. I see. I'll have to keep note of that then. Hee. The mermaid giggles. It's a musical sort of giggle, one which makes me think of silver bells. It's the sort of laugh which probably would inspire other more unscrupulous people to kiss her if her golden hair and her cobalt eyes weren't enough of a draw. She's pretty enough to be kissable, but I'd rather not go there. We're still strangers after all, and she's one of the strangest strangers I've ever met. So you don't want to kiss me then? Not right now, I mean. I don't even know your name, so... Is that the problem? You should have said, silly. Huh? She's talking about being kissed by a perfect stranger, but I'm the silly one? I feel like we're getting our wires crossed here. I didn't know we had to know one another's names before we could be friendly with one another, but... My name's Narine. It's nice to meet you. Narine, huh? That's a pretty name. I think it suits her. Right, It's good to meet you too. Since she's told me her name, I guess I should return the favor. Maybe I can regard this as practice for tomorrow when I'll have to greet my new classmates. My name's Asuka. Asuka, how pretty! Alright, now we know one another's names. Are you sure you don't want to kiss me? I think I'll pass on that if it's all the same to you. I'm not French. I don't see what being French has to do with anything. But alright. This is very strange though. Why are you holding me like that if you don't want to kiss me? Did you just want to know what a real mermaid feels like? I guess I was a little curious. But I was actually planning to carry you back into the ocean. What? Why would you do that? She's so confused. The culture clash is beautiful. I really enjoy that. Hi, Sacred. Thank you for the hydrate. I hope you're having a good day. Well, isn't that where you came from? It is where I came from, yes. But it's also where I'm trying to escape from. If you care about me at all, you wouldn't carry me back there. I'd rather die. Now that's a pretty bold claim. I wonder if she's exaggerating. Could she be some sort of fugitive from the undersea kingdom she dwells in? You, didn't do anything bad, did you? Bad? Like what? I don't know, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. You said that you can't go back into the ocean, but I don't get it. I mean, that's your home. You should want to go back there, surely. Unless you did something bad. And you're running away from it. That, or... You're having a day for sure. 4 hours of sleep. Hope you're doing well. Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope you haven't... Hopefully you can have a nap or something, Sacred. That will definitely help. Hi, Eve! We're enjoying a bit of a culture clash with the mermaid and the human who have just met. They don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody else did something bad to you? Narine inhales sharply. Newly uneasy, she glances to one side, then says, "That's a pretty good guess." Naps are so underrated. They are. I'm not very good at napping. But I like a good nap when I can manage it. 20 Hanukkah guilt on her embarrassing a Silky noble. I would be curious if there are any Salkies in this game. That would be very cool. To have varying humanoid seafarers would be quite interesting. I don't know though. I like to go into visual novels quite blind because it's the best way to enjoy them because they are a story. Salkies are very cool though, you're right. Oh no, yeah, did somebody hurt you then? I want to tell the people who've just walked in that our beautiful protag here with the red hair is holding a full mermaid. Heavy tail and all. Our protag is buff as shit. Canonically, our protag is buff as shit. And we love it. We're very hyped about it. Did somebody hurt you then? They did, yes. And it wasn't just one person. My parents were also involved. They consented to it. They were over the moon, in fact, when the royal emissary came to visit. Oh, she's a princess. She's strong as hell for a 16-year-old, lol. She is. She be hitting the gym. She be hitting the bricks. But I don't want to talk about that. I ran away, or rather, swam away. Because I was trying to escape. It's the power of love. Oh, you're so right, Sacred. The power of love can do anything. It's still a sore subject. I need a little time to process everything. But I understand if you don't trust me. I must seem pretty suspicious. We're still strangers. You hardly know me and I hardly know you. You don't owe me anything, but... Oh, hi! She's using all her charms to get our protagonist on her side, and I love that. That's so funny. Narine reaches out, her arms winding about my shoulders. She's going to leave damp spots on my clothes. Not that it matters too much, I guess. My shirt was already damp. Would you mind taking me with you, Asuka? I can't stay on the beach, but I can't go back into the ocean. There's nowhere I belong. So please, could you help me? I'm desperate here. What? With me? I blink, taken aback. I'm sorry, but how do you expect me to help you? I mean, you're a mermaid and I'm a human. We come from two entirely different worlds. I know we do, but that's why I'm asking you for help. I can't go back home, so I have to rely on you. It's not even a home now. Not when I would have been kicked out anyway. There's nowhere else I can go right now. So I'm afraid I'll have to go with you. You say that, but it's not that easy for me. I can't just put you up, you know. It'll be hard for me to carry you up the hill for one thing. For another, you're part fish. Won't your tail dry out if you can't dip it in the water? Well, that is a bit of a concern. Yeah, I figured. I'm sorry, but it really isn't possible. I don't think you're a bad person. I really would like to help you, but our bathroom simply isn't big enough, I mean to say. But then I pause. My parents' bathroom back in our Tokyo home certainly wouldn't be big enough to house a mermaid like Marina. But my aunt's bathroom is a different matter altogether. That's true, we have the massive fucking in-size bathtub. Foreshadowing, massive bathtub. The foreshadowing of massive bathtub is so funny. Our protag is a human cultural half. Yeah, yeah. Human culture and mermaid culture is clashing. Both of them are learning. The bath I had a dip in earlier is frickin' huge. Maybe it would be a feasible option after all. Hey Noreen, you got me wondering, how do you feel about staying in my aunt's bathtub? What's a bathtub? You'll find out soon enough, if you still want to come with me, of course. Are you offering? Well, yeah, I guess I am. I might have more space than I thought, and I can't just leave you out here on the beach. I don't want seagulls to start picking at you, so, I figured since I can help, I should try. If you don't mind, that is. Asuka. A moment passes. Then a wide smile captures Noreen's lips. Thank you so much. You really are a sweetheart. Noreen has hooked our protagonist very well. Good job, girlie. I thought that Noreen's praise was overwhelming back on the beach. After I offered to take her back to my aunt's, but... Oh my god! This is even cuter! Why does it remind me of an anime? If the family turns out to be an underwater yakuza, I'm calling sus. I mean, it's a visual novel, and no idea is completely original. Like, it's fine. Mermaid Yuri is fine. Girly Pop Marina she's very girly pop. This is such a cute CG. I love this. I might use this for my thumbnail. This feels really good for a thumbnail of the CG. This is so cute. Thank you so much for this, Asuka. You really are a pearl among humans. You have no idea what sort of bind I was in before you showed up. You brought me hope, just like an angelfish. I can hardly believe you're so incredibly, amazingly kind. This is so good for the lesbian vibes right now. I've played a lot of tragic lesbian stuff. It's good to do something sweet for once. There might be some tragedy in here too, but I don't know. It feels really sweet right now, don't it? I think it's going to be quite fluffy. There might be some conflict, but that's different to tragedy, you know? Not that I'm mad about the tragedies, it's just some people got really, really sad, and I feel like you guys needed a break. You guys needed a bit of a break from the unending tragedies I was visiting upon you. She's been keeping up with a steady string of lofty praises for the last 10 minutes. Ever since I pulled her onto my back and started beating my weary way back to my aunt's place. She seriously must be very strong, because this is not easy work. Still being nice? Oh my. Yeah, I gotta be a bit nice to you guys. Like, I gotta keep you a little bit happy, you know? When I do write some stories out, Fluffy Yuri will be a definite feature. Oh, that's good. But you have to know what you're gonna write. Like, what's the characters? The sapphic goddesses are giving Asuka power. So true. I'm glad that Marine's in such high spirits, but all of her compliments are starting to get a bit cloying. Does she want to kill me through kindness here? Oh, it's fine. Don't mention it. But I feel like I have to. And you have about a dozen times. I already got the memo. You don't need to keep saying it. But I want to. This is the only way I can tell you how I feel. You've made your feelings pretty obvious already, though. Not obvious enough. I've never actually been above the ocean surface before. I was always afraid of swimming too close to the shore. My parents told me that you humans are all wicked and selfish, and you wouldn't hesitate to tangle me up in a net or slice me up into sashimi. Oops. She's got me there. Part of me was wondering how her tail would taste when dipped into ponzu sauce and served with ginger. Oh, she's so funny. Our protagonist is cool as fuck. That's hilarious. But you've not done any of that to me so far, asked Miss Asuka. You've offered to take me in. I don't think I had much of a choice. And you're even carrying me back to your home. You're such a nice person. I'm starting to think that humans might not be so bad after all. My parents must have been exaggerating. Well, I don't know about that. I adjust my grip on Narine, trying to get purchase on her tail. Her scales feel a bit slippery, which makes supporting her kind of tricky. But I haven't dropped her just yet. That's gotta be a good thing, right? There are some pretty rotten humans out there. I'm sure some people would be really curious if they saw you. They might want to slice your tail open. What? Really? That's crazy! But I'm not gonna let that happen. Or, I'll try not to. Might be hard for a skinny 16-year-old like me to protect Narine. If a group of special ops agents from the government come to take her away, but I'm going to hope that won't happen. I hardly know her, but she seems like a nice enough person. Or a mer person. Oh, thank you for the lurk, Vixen. I know this doesn't sound very reassuring, but I'll do my best to help you. Ugh. Itchy nose. Got a vague outline of two semi-nomadic warrior queens hooking up. It's a big part of lore too. Ooh, exciting. Beautiful women's. And why do you sound so unsure about that? You've already done a lot to help. That's what I'm thinking, you silly. I'm silly? Yes, you're very silly. You really don't need to worry so much. I think you're very charming. Well, I'm glad to hear it. It might have been better if you'd met somebody with more muscle mass, though. This is pretty tiring. Oh? Are you alright, Asuka? I'm hanging in there, I guess. Even though my back is seriously starting to ache. You're heavier than you look, though. What exactly are mermaids made out of? I wonder. Narine winds her arms a little more tightly around my chest. Please, no, I'm going to asphyxiate if she keeps this up. Then says, I don't know, I've never really checked. I've never cut up a mermaid before. She must be pretty heavy, dense with muscle, because it would take a lot of energy and work to swim all the time. Words can't express how miserably relieved I am to hear that. But I think we're probably made of sea foam, bubbles, and sweet happy dreams. Hehe. What a cute answer. It sounds like something an idol would come out with on a talk show. There's something endearing about it, actually. But it doesn't change the fact that Narine weighs a ton. For a being who's supposedly made of ephemera, she sure is doing a number on my back. I guess her dreams must be particularly heavy duty. Yeah, pure muscle, swimming all the time, absolutely. I think deep sea mermaids would be a bit chubby though. She's delusional. I think she is a little bit delusional, but like it's fine. Girl is gonna be a little bit delusional as a treat. Yeah, let's go with that. See, the massive bathtub, it was foreshadowing. The massive bathtub of knowledge. of story relevance. The Chekhov's bathtub. I'm glad that's over with. I sigh with relief as I slump down on the floor beside the bathtub. I was finally able to get Noreen back to the inn with a whole lot of finagling on my end. As it turns out, giving a mermaid a piggyback ride isn't the easiest thing in the world, especially not at the dead of night with only the moon and the stars to guide me. I'm lucky I didn't slip and break my neck during the way back. Or my legs. I was able to keep my grip on Noreen throughout, though she did slide from my grasp a couple of times. Her tail was hard to hold on to, even though she kept it twined around my waist. My jacket is wet and my arms ache and my back hurts from hauling Noreen all of the way to the inn. Is her aunt a hot springs owner? She bought an old, dilapidated inn and is basically in the process of renovating it. And she lives in like the part they use the rooms that are currently usable. So this bathroom was one of the first things to be renovated, so they have a bathroom, you know. There's a couple of bedrooms, that sort of thing. The beach isn't far from my aunt's inn. Normally it takes about 5 minutes to walk there, but with the addition of Doreen, it took more than 10. Well, whatever. She's back now and that's all that matters. Premium geothermal spring water. God, yeah, I would love to go to a hot spring. Sounds so nice right now. It always sounds so nice. What am I saying right now? It always sounds nice. I even managed to unlock the front door and let us inside without loosening my grip on Noreen, and without waking up Aunt Shoko too. I'm starting to think I could have been a ninja in my past life. Though since I'm so criminally unathletic, it seems unlikely. My poor hand-eye coordination will probably make it hard to throw any kunai too. Lying down in some hot water sounds beautiful for the joints. God, yeah. Doesn't it just? Just lying underwater. I would dunk my head under too. Because I want the whole body experience. Thank you very much. I know you're not supposed to, but if no one was looking, I would. It's a nice idea, though. Anyway, I got Noreen into the bathroom and I lowered her into the tub. Then I ran the warm water for her. The tub's almost full to the brim with water and Noreen looks comfortable. Oh, cute! Oh, that's lovely. She's pressed against the side of the tub, her arms folded. She smiles at me, then says, "This is very nice. I like it a lot. Well, I'm surprised you have so much water inside your home. I didn't think that humans and water got on very well. We don't if we're submerged underwater. A lot of people have baths though. We use them to clean off the dirt and grime when we've had a busy day. This bath's a little bigger than most though. And so is this bathroom. It's a lot bigger than the bathroom at my parents' place. I don't think you'd like having to stay in the tub there. There wouldn't be much space. You should be able to swim around a bit in here though. Oh yes, it's more cramped than I'm used to, of course. Well duh, she did used to live in the frickin' ocean. But it's much, much nicer than I expected. Thank you so much, Asuka. Oh, it's no problem? That's not entirely accurate, of course. Carting the Ren all the way here was a pretty big problem, but I'd feel guilty bringing that up. Besides, I did agree to help her. Any discomfort I might have experienced is on me. If I really hadn't cared, I could have left her on the beach. Not that I would have done that, of course. I'm no monster. Will you really be alright in there, though? There's not very much to do. I'm worried you might get bored. I'm sure I'll be fine. I think being here will be much, much better than being at the bottom of the ocean, even if this place is a lot smaller. I'm freer here than I ever was down there. Huh. That's kind of concerning. Isn't it just? Once again, I have to wonder what happened to Noreen to make her run or swim away from home. I'm interested, but I won't pry. I don't know if Noreen wants to talk about it, and I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. It wouldn't seem fair to bring down her mood either, not when she seems to be in such high spirits. I'm sure I won't be bored. There might not be much to do here, but at least I'll have you. Aren't you going to keep me company? Huh? I think Noreen might be mistaken here. I'm glad she wants to spend so much time with me, but... No, I'm sorry. But I can't do that. What? Narine's expression falls. She frowns. Why not? Don't you want to spend more time with me? I haven't worn my welcome out already, have I? No, that's not it. You've not done anything wrong. It's just, well, it's unfortunate, but I have to go to school. What school? Didn't I have school in the Mermaid Realm or whatever the heck Narine's home is called? Looks like I have a fair bit of explaining to do. School is a place that young people go to learn. We have to attend school between the ages of 5 and 18. You go into a building and your teacher, that is an instructor, tells you about all sorts of things, like history and literature. Don't you have anything like that? Well, we do have teachers, but only the wealthiest of mere people really bother with that sort of thing. My family's not very rich, so my parents couldn't afford to tutor me in art or in music or anything like that. That's why my way of speaking's so unpolished. I'm already 18 myself, but I'm a bit of a bumpkin. Hee. Oh, right. That's interesting. Narine looks like you'd expect a mermaid to look with her curly fair hair and her bright blue eyes. But she doesn't really talk the part. I swear she's a country accent. It's like she comes from Aomori or something. Country bumpkin, yeah, she's cute though. Nothing wrong with being from the country. Does that mean there are different social classes among mer people then? Yep. Our society's pretty rigid actually. It differs between all the kingdoms. There's a bunch of different societies at the bottom of the sea. But from where I come from, the king and the queen have absolute power over the rest of us. Country girls are adorable. We love them. We love them. They live in this big fancy palace made of coral, and they have servants, and they own the finest of seaweed and sea bream. There are lesser nobles who live in the palace and servants, and then there's the rest of us. My family's of a pretty low caste. My parents both work harvesting seaweed. We never had more than 2 pearls to rub together, which is why I've never been tutored. You must be a very rich human, Asuka, if you get to go to this school place. It sounds very fancy. Oh, not really. Everybody has to go to school. Even poor people whose parents harvest seaweed. It's the law. It is? Yeah. If you don't go to school, you can get in trouble. We're supposed to get some sort of education or we won't be able to get jobs in the future. It's kind of cutthroat. Oh, I see. It sounds like you have a load of stuff to worry about yourself. Well, it could always be worse. It's not like my life is all that hard. But I'm not really looking forward to going to school. You aren't? I shake my head. I've not been living in Omorashima for very long. I only arrived here a week ago. I'll be going to a brand new school. I won't know my way around, so it'll be stressful. And I'll be in my 2nd year where all my classmates already know one another. This is a small island, so I'll stick out even more. Being a new kid isn't so bad if you're at a city school, but since there's so few people here from the get-go... I sigh, my gaze directed downwards. Then very quietly I mumble, it's... kind of scary. Asuka. She presses her lips together. Then she reaches out. Her hand finds mine. Dang, Nikki, your titties! Sorry. Gently, she intertwines her fingers to get our fingers together. Then her voice soft, she says, "Man, look at them! They look so massive in this one scene. I'm sorry. I know it's just the shells. I know it's just the shells, but come on." I lived out in the country till I was 15. I don't know if that's proper country bumpkin. I would say that counts. Yeah, that counts. I was a townie. Until very recently, and I bet you can still tell that I'm a townie. We've only just moved out into the semi-country now. It is still pretty, like, it's not that out there. It's still pretty connected, but it's... yeah. It is what it is. To be fair, I never really enjoyed living in town. So it's a bonus to not be a townie anymore. I don't know what the school place is like. So it might not be my place to talk about it. I don't know if my advice will be very helpful. But I don't think you have anything to worry about. You don't? No! You're a really nice girl. Why would anybody dislike you? You're only saying that because I've given you a bathtub to soak in, which isn't even mine. Well, yeah, I am saying that because you've helped me. But I think that proves my point. If you weren't a nice girl, you wouldn't have gone out of your way to bring me all the way back here. Doesn't that show how sweet you are? Well, wow, for a person who claims she's never had a formal education, Marina sure is good at buttering me up. That's, very nice of you, I guess. Thank you. It's no problem. I'm only being as nice to you as you deserve. I mean, you were nice to me first. I can't see any reason why anybody at this school you've mentioned would be mean to you. But if they are, you can always talk to me about it. I might not be able to help that much, but I'm always here to listen. Well, I look at Noreen quietly, stunned into momentary silence. She might not think she's offering all that much, but I still feel flattered. Having somebody to confide in, somebody who isn't Aunt Shoko or Tayo, I mean, would be nice. Live like 8 miles away from my elementary school. Yeah, that's the proper rural life. What's miles again? I'm so bad. Like, why am I looking up a measurement converter? I wouldn't be able to know. I wouldn't know what that meant. I'm like really bad at like seeing a measurement and then in my head, like figuring out what that actually means in reality. I can never do it. I don't know why I bother. I was reaching for the phone. I was going to convert miles to my stuff, and then halfway through I was like, hang on, I won't even know what this means. If I convert it, what's the point? If you don't mind listening to my babbling then, I might just take you up on that. Please do. I'd love to hear about your day at school, especially since I can't go myself. I'd like to go with you so I can learn more about the human world. Noreen frees my hand from her and then glances down at herself and smiles faintly. But that might be a little tricky for me. Hee. Just a little, I guess. I could always sit you in a wheelbarrow full of water and roll you over to the school, I guess. But my teachers might have a few questions about that. Probably. I don't want to cause you even more problems, so this is fine. I'll stay here like a good girl. But I want to hear about your first day at school as a reward. I'll be waiting. Time to find a witch or something to change that tail into legs. Hell yeah. We gotta make a pact of love or something. I don't know if it would be much of a reward, but if that's what you want. Sure, I'll talk to you tomorrow when I get back home. I'll talk to you a lot. So I hope you'll be alright on your own until then. I love the concept of a love pact, like, being magical to me. I'm a big fan of love and friendship being, like, magical. You know? Like, having, like, an impact on, like, things in a magic way. It's very cool to me. That's why I always really enjoy Pretty Cure, because that's, like, such a big thing. Friendship being magical. I'm sure I can find something to do to keep myself busy. It wasn't like my days in the Merfolk Kingdom were full to bursting with excitement. Up until the last couple of weeks, I mean. There was a bit too much excitement then. I'll be glad to take a break from all of that. Well, you should have plenty of opportunities to relax while you're here. But I don't think it'll be much fun being stuck here all day while I'm outside. So, we're just not worried about Aunt Shoko or Marina finding her in the bathtub. That's not a concern. That hasn't crossed our mind at all as a worry. Okay. Maybe I could bring you back some manga to read to pass the time. Oh, and I have my Switch too. I'm sure I have a few games you might like. But you're in the bathtub. I wouldn't want you to get wet. That'd cause problems. Maybe that's not a good idea after all. I'd feel too weird about a human have to fry her up. Yeah, but I feel like that... I don't think they would fry her up. I just think, like... It may cause some sort of situation to occur. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about the things getting revealed and all that. Maybe that's not a good idea after all. What's a switch? Well, I should have expected that. School's an alien concept to Marina, and that's about as basic as you can get. If she doesn't understand the concept of school, there's no way she'll be familiar with the switch. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Yes. Yes, Eve, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Absolutely. A Switch is a game console, and, I see the look of blank uncomprehension on Noreen's face and sigh. Never mind. It's a bit hard to explain, but manga shouldn't be too complicated. They're just stories told with pictures. Do you have anything like that in the, Merfolk and Kingdom? When I was young, I used to draw pictures on stones with a stick. Is it like that? I would love to stay with her and teach her all day. Yes, it'll be so fun. A little, but there's lots and lots of pictures in manga. I think you'd like it. Lots and lots of pictures, There are some unsea groshos with a lot of carvings on them, but I doubt you could bring a whole grosho to me. Probably not. Carrying you here was pretty difficult already, but manga's pretty portable. It's small and it's slim. I could carry a bunch of volumes over without any problem. Portable drawings, huh? It's hard for me to imagine something like that. There's so much amazing stuff above the surface. I'm sure there's also amazing stuff beneath the surface too. From your perspective, maybe. I found it pretty boring though. Well, I'm the same. I'm used to going to school and reading manga, so it feels normal to me. Maybe I've been taking it for granted. I smiled and shook my head. Anyway, I'll fetch everything tomorrow. And I should probably bring you some breakfast too. Are you hungry? Not at the moment. A bit of food might be nice though. I'll be sure to save you some food then. Aunt Shoko's cooking is really good. I'm sure you'll like it, even if you'll have to make do with scraps. How do you feel about tofu? Tofu? Is that a sort of seaweed? No, it's complicated, but I'm sure you'll like it. It has a soft, gentle flavour. Aunt Shoko does make a pretty good seaweed salad too, though. Maybe she'll make it tomorrow. That should definitely be to your tastes. I hope you'll enjoy it tomorrow's breakfast. No, I will, but I'll enjoy talking to you even more, Asuka. This has been a lot of fun. Oh, I'm glad. I glance away from Noreen, my face flushing once more. This seems to happen with alarming regularity when I speak to her. Maybe it's because she's so pretty. It's hard to look her in the eye. I think I can see why there are so many stories about sirens luring ships to their doom. Noreen really is enchanting. It's the sunfish! Yes! I love that fucking thing. What a night. I muster this under my breath as I collapse on my bed, dressed once more in my pajamas. I take hold of Tayo, who's lying by my pillows, and wind my arms tight about his plush middle. I feel exhausted after everything that's happened, and that's not an exaggeration. Hauling Noreen all the way back here was no joke. My back and my arms are still aching, and so is my head. Feels like I have an awful lot to contend with all of a sudden. I was already anxious about attending a brand new school to come tomorrow morning, but now I have to worry about attending a brand new school and looking after my new mermaid friend who I left soaking in the tub. What will I do if Aunt Shoko finds out about her? What will I tell her? I don't think Aunt Shoko would sell Noreen out to the government, but she has been worrying about the expense involved in fixing this old place up. If she thought she could get some extra cash out of selling Noreen to some higher-ups, would she do it? I'd like to believe the best in my Aunt Shoko, who was kind enough to take me in, but I'm still worried. It's inevitable that she'll find out about Noreen at some point, since she is, you know, living in our bathtub. I can't think of anywhere else I can really move her either. There's nowhere for her to go. I'll have to tell my aunt about this sooner rather than later, but that's something for the Asuka of the future to worry about. I don't think I have enough energy to fuss about something so complicated. My head is hurting too much and I'm too tired. Really though. Did this night actually happen? Did I seriously run into a mermaid on the shore? Doesn't sound possible. It shouldn't be possible. I'm not hallucinating, am I? I know I was anxious about attending a new school, but I didn't think I was that anxious. What will I do if my brain's broken? I know there's that age-old technique where master artisans will repair broken plates and vases with gold filigree. I think it's called kintsugi. But I don't think that's possible with human brains. If you tried to stuff a bunch of gold into my head, it'd make problems even worse. I'd get gold poisoning or something and then I'd die. If that's not on the cards already. Well, I'd best try and get some shut-eye. I don't want to shut up shop for my first day of my new school looking like a zombie. It's not like I'm aiming to be popular, but I don't want to be relegated to the role of the weird girl who looks like a corpse. I'd like people to like me. Or at the very least, I don't want them to dislike me. That should be a reasonable goal, shouldn't it? It's not like I'm shooting for the moon here. Noreen said she liked me at least, if nothing else. She told me I was kind. I wonder how I feel about that. But we must save again. I'm glad I've made a new friend. Well, if all else fails and I can't make a single friend, I'll at least have her. Maybe I'm not as hopeless as I'd feared. No matter how crazy everything around me has become. The opening movie! Sakura Akasaka is a normal girl, but something extraordinary happens to her when she moves to the small island of Omirashima. There's another girl. The other girl is really cute. To her surprise, Asuka meets a mermaid washed up on the beach. Ew, this is so cute. And Asuka's life soon takes a surprising turn. Oh, she's cute. I like her. What in the world will Asuka do now? Ah, Marina, obviously. Oh, how cute. Chapter 2. That sinking feeling. Rise and shine, it's time to wake up. Get ready for another fantastic day. Glub glub. What? I wince, feeling more than a little disoriented as I sit up in my bed. My thoughts feel vague and soupy, like they always do when I've only just awoken. My eyes are gummed up with sleep and there are white spots in front of my vision. I blink them aside, still feeling groggy. What time is it? I glance over at my bedside clock. It's still chirping at me. Its voice too bright and cheerful for the early morning. Rise and shine, it's time to wake up. Get ready for another fantastic day. Glub glub. My alarm clock is a novelty one. It's shaped like a fish and it can talk. I would have preferred a sunfish alarm clock to match Tayo. But sunfish aren't very popular for some reason. There's quite a lot of axolotl themed home decor actually. But not sunfish. I guess I should consider myself lucky I was able to nab Tayo at all. He sure stands out in a sea of dolphin, shark, and the aforementioned axolotl-related plushies. Rise and shine, it's time to wake up. Get ready for another fantastic day, glub glub. Yeah, I heard you. I muttered this to Pero. Drowsily, yes, I named my fish-shaped alarm clock, who doesn't? As I reach out to him. Clumsily, I slam my hand on top of his head, shutting off his good morning chorus. Then I stretch. It takes me a few moments to register where I am, but when I do, my spirits sink. I'm not in my old bedroom anymore, back at my parents' place in Tokyo. I'm living with my Aunt Shoko instead in an old inn which is in dire need of fixing up, and now I need to get ready to go to my brand new school. This will be my very first day at school in Omarashima, and I'm transferring in the middle of the term. I'm not looking forward to it, and that's a bit of an understatement. I've been dreading it. But there's something else on my mind this morning. Something other than how little I want to make nice with my new classmates. Didn't something incredible happen to me last night? That's right, I remember. I met a mermaid, a real-life mermaid. She told me that her name was Marina and she didn't want to return to her undersea kingdom. She didn't tell me why she'd run away, but she looked so serious I felt obliged to help her. I hauled her onto my back and carried her all the way back to the Sakuraso Inn. It was hard going since I had to haul her up a steep hill, but I still did it. I rescued a mermaid from the ocean. My memories are coming back to me as vivid as the shining scales of a rainbow fish, but there's just no way. I can't believe I met a mermaid last night, not now the sun's rays are filtering in through my windows. How could that be possible? Mermaids don't exist. It isn't, to borrow my dad's favourite word, logical. I tell myself that as I change out of my pyjamas into my brand new uniform. I tell myself that as I slide on my socks and I brush my hair. I tell myself that as I adjust my tie, which is a cool nautical blue, through the collar of my sailor shirt. I tell myself it so many times I almost forget to feel anxious about going to a new school. Almost. The uncertainty is still there, however, churning in the pit of my stomach. It feels spiky, just like a sea urchin. Maybe I'm thinking about this mermaid nonsense to distract myself from some far more pressing concerns, like my debut at my new school. I hope I don't make an idiot out of myself. Will everybody judge me because of my Tokyo accent? I don't sound like the people who live here. I'm not looking forward to introducing myself either. Not to a class of 20-odd students. Huh. It's kind of strange actually, thinking that I'll only have about 20 or so classmates. I was one of 35 in my old school in Tokyo. There were almost 2,000 students enrolled at my old school. Here, however, there's only about 350. The difference in numbers is immense. I'll bet the school will be a lot smaller as a result. Really is funny. My new home is much bigger than the apartment that I lived in with my parents. Everything else feels a lot tinier, however, apart from the ocean maybe. Hello, my name is Sakuragi Asuka. I'll be studying here for the next year. I like photography and collecting cute sea life themed stuffed toys. I hope we get along. I practiced my self-introduction a few times in the mirror, my fingers still on my tie. Then I sigh. I guess it's good that I managed my self-introduction in the privacy of my bedroom. But what about when I get to the classroom? I'll flub it. I'm sure I'll flub it. Doesn't matter if I'll only have 20 pair of eyes on me rather than 34. The thought's still scary. I can't do it, but I have to. Ugh. All of a sudden my stomach hurts. I think I need to go to the bathroom. I leave my bedroom, then pad down the hallway to the bathroom. Aunt Shoko has her own ensuite bathroom, but I'm stuck using one of the guest ones. There's a bunch of toilets in here actually, built to cater to multiple guests. The communal bathroom, meanwhile, is right next to it. I slide open the door to the bathing room, and then... Oh, Asuka! It's good to see you again. I missed you. What? The bathtub isn't empty after all. There's a girl sitting in it, her lower arms and elbows resting against the side of the tub. Her skin is smooth and milky, at least the skin I can see. Her peachy skin stops around her torso, fading into a coral pink tail. Yes, that's right, this girl has a tail. She's a mermaid, I guess. That means mermaids are real then, and so was last night. I thought it was all a dream, but I guess not. I'm not delusional after all. Unless this is all a dream. Asuka, are you alright? You're looking a little pale. School wasn't that difficult, was it? Huh? What do you mean? Didn't you go to school already? I've been waiting for you for ages. You're dressed all funny, so I figured you must have worn that to go out. Now tell me! What was school like? What did you do? I hope the other humans were nice to you. If they were nasty, I'll make them sorry. I'll curse them with my mermaid magic. And by that I mean I'll say they're a bunch of meanies with bad breath and we can laugh about them. I appreciate Narine's enthusiasm, but I think you're a little mixed up here. Mixed up? I've not actually gone to school yet. I just came here to wash my face. And go to the toilet, I guess. What? Oh. When will you go to school then? In about an hour, maybe? I still need to eat breakfast and I still need to get some food for you. Are you hungry? A bit. I was wondering why you'd not stopped by yet. I'm sorry, I'll be back soon, alright? Just give me 30 minutes. Okay. Narine sighs. This is a little sad, though. I was looking forward to chatting with you. You can still look forward to it, you'll just need to look forward to it a bit longer. I guess. And how long will you be at the school place, Asuka? You never did tell me. Oh right, about that. I guess I'll be there for 6... maybe 7 hours? 7 hours? Oh no, look at her face. She's horrified. Oh no, Narine. You're gonna be so fucking bored. Narine is gonna suffer. She's gonna have nothing to fucking do. It depends if I'm on classroom duty, but I'll try to hurry back quickly, alright? Well, alright. I know this school place is important to you, so I won't ask you to stay here with me all day. That'd be pretty selfish of me. But I didn't realize a school day was so long. It sounds exhausting. Tell me about it. I'm not looking forward to it either. I feel a little guilty about it, but it has to be done. But I'll talk later to you, Narine, I promise. I bid goodbye to my fishy friend. Mental note, I probably shouldn't call her that again. Then hurry on over to the living room. Well, I try to hurry on over, but there's an awful lot of hallway to contend with and an awful lot of sliding doors. It's hard for me to keep track of where everything is. I opened a couple of sliding doors by mistake in my hunt for the elusive dining room, only to find myself faced with bare tatami rooms, clearly meant for guests, and in one place a linen cupboard. All told, it takes me about 2 minutes to finally find the dining room, and by the time I do, I feel almost sweaty. It doesn't help that it's such a warm day. Ew. My aunt is already sitting in the dining room when I arrive, the table laid out with our breakfast. She's made a veritable feast, just like yesterday. Does Aunt Shoko think my parents never feed me back in Tokyo? Well, I guess it's true enough they didn't often, since they were both preoccupied with work. They did leave me money, however, so I never starved. Well, it was rare that I actually got to sit down and eat with my parents, and it was even rarer that they cooked anything for me. I got by just fine with convenience store meals. Oh no. I know they can't help it because they're working, but that's not good for a growing kid. I don't think Aunt Shoko really needs to prepare this much food for me. But that hasn't been stopping her. Why do I feel like my chair's low? Hang on. Is my chair low? It is! It has drooped. There we go. Fixed. My chair is now as it should be. At the appropriate height. There's something pretty sweet about it. Under normal circumstances, I would savour this food, but the thought of Marina is still lodged in the back of my head like a burr. 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 Burr, 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 burr. Sorry. What am I gonna do about her? Asuka? Aunt Shoko looks at me from across the table, then says, "Are you alright?" Oh, yes. Ugh, I wish my stupid face wouldn't turn so incredibly red. It feels like I'm going to give the whole game away here. Everything's, just dandy? Dandy? That's right. It's peachy keen. Jeez, peachy keen. I'm trying to act unsuspicious, but that was probably the most suspicious thing I could have said. I sigh and turn my attention to my breakfast. Aunt Shoko has made white rice, of course, and miso soup, of course, and a faintly grated radish and cucumber salad. That's less, of course, with a side of salted kippers. Now that's way fancier than anything I'd usually have for breakfast. The food is good, but Noreen continues to weigh on my mind as I eat. Will she really be alright on her own? It's not like I can stay here to look out for her. This is my first day of school and I can't afford to miss it, not over a spurious excuse like, sorry, I had to take care of my new mermaid. I'm still fussing, picking at my breakfast while my aunt tuts. You say that, dear, but you're looking awfully pale and distracted. Is something on your mind? Oh, there's a lot on my mind, alright, mostly about Noreen, but I don't think that's quite what my aunt is getting at. Knowing her, she probably thinks I'm still hung up on school. Well, I guess I am a little worried about school and about fitting in. Those are normal concerns for a teenage girl to have after she's moved, but meeting Noreen has kind of sort of eclipsed everything else. Yeah, the auntie's very cute. I like her a lot. School's the last thing on my mind right now, but what Aunt Shoko doesn't know won't hurt her. Yeah, that's right. I'm still worried about it. I mean, it's such a big change. I just hope the other kids will like me. I'm sure they will, dear. I know I told you this last night, but I don't mind telling you again. You just need to be yourself. Right, I'll try, I guess. Though I don't know if there's anything all that special about me. Well, the same can be said for the most of us. Few of us are truly special, but we don't need to be. I think being nice is more than enough to be getting along with. You just need to be your usual energetic self. I'm sure that'll be more than enough to win your classmates over. You don't have to be something you're not, Asuka, and you don't need to scramble to start achieving things. Omurashima is a small island. It's alright to take things at your own pace. You're not in Tokyo anymore. Right. I digest my aunt's words slowly, my brow furrowed, still holding my chopsticks. It's a bit of a strange sentiment, but I guess Aunt Shoko does have a point. I might be average, but so's everybody else. That means I have nothing to worry about when I go to school. It's not like Misaki High will be full of future astrophysicists or star athletes. They'll all be ordinary kids just like me. The only difference is they happen to be born and raised here while I wasn't. I might sound a little bit, but in time I'm sure I'll be able to blend right in. I guess it's a privilege of being ordinary. I'm completely normal. But the guest I took in last night is anything but. I finished eating as much of my breakfast as my stomach can, which is in my current state isn't too much, then get to my feet. Taking my tray in my hand, with my white rice and miso soup and the salad and the half-eaten kipper, I then say, I think I'll head off soon. I can't eat much more than this, so I'll take it back to the kitchen. Is that alright? I wish you'd eat a little bit more. I'm afraid you've not had enough to give you through the day. But if you've had enough, I won't press the issue. I hope you have a good day at school, dear. I hope so too. I'll try to do my best. I know you will. You always do. I exit the dining room, but I don't head off in the direction of the kitchen. Instead, I double back on myself, going off down the corridor to the spacious bathroom where I left Noreen. I pause by the door for a few moments, at least I think it's the right door, trying to compose myself. Before, after finagling with the tray for a few moments, I get the door open. I step inside the bathroom and I'm soon met by a cheery voice. Is that you, Asuka? Have you come back? Chat, I think I'm done for the day. I think I'm done for the day. Thank you for joining me for mermaid time, though. We had a lot of fun. We've started a very fun story. I'm very excited to get all the routes done. We will 100% going to be going for the poly route once we get the two main girls done. It'll be very cool. And let's see who we can attack. Let's see who's around. Oh, it's Tempe's affiliate anniversary. Let's go get her. She's playing Small Lands with Aki. Let's go send her our appreciation and love. Thank you all for showing up. We'll be back again tomorrow with cassette beasts, which is another creature battler, but it's a bit which I will be looking forward to. Bye bye.